Hey, this is Gary King here again. This is podcast number 3. It's probably going to be in 2 parts again of 2020 Vision podcasts that we started a week or so ago with my friend Sarah. And we're going to be looking at crisis actors. We've all heard about them. And a couple of companies that I found online that basically create events, so-called training events. And then we're going to look at some very sketchy pictures. I've done a lot of investigation into these pictures, thrown them out to some people that I know and see what they think. And mainly we're bashing the press, not people, individual people, but the press and the utter crap that they put out and try to expect us all to believe. I think you'll find out what's going on in here if you check it out. So here we are again with my friend Sarah. So here I am again, or should I say here we are again, me and Sarah.
Hello.
All right, our Sarah, how's it going?
Bonjour.
Bonjour, madame. Comment ça va?
Bonjour. Oui, ça va. Bien, merci.
Wow.
I think I can remember a bit.
Almost as good as me.
I know, I think I can remember some from school. That was about one of the only lessons that I listened in, because I did feel like maybe that was truth. The rest of them I weren't so bothered with, because I think I just instantly knew it was a load of bollocks. Especially history.
Well, the funny thing is like the last thing I was going to learn at school was French, right? Now I'm living here, and a Homer Simpson moment came to mind. Oh! Right? I should have really taken notice. Anyway, so a week or so ago, we did a 2-part chat, didn't we, about all kinds of rubbish and nonsense. And unfortunately, in the second part, I couldn't keep my mouth shut. So I'm going to try and keep it down a little bit on this one, and we'll try and keep it a bit shorter. Right, but anyway, so thanks to Sarah for coming and sitting in with me again, and we're going to be doing, I'm sure, like I said before, plenty more of this. So what we're going to look at right now is we're going to look at a couple of companies online that I found through various posts some time ago now, and we're going to look at Crisis Cast, and we're going to look at crisis actors. And we all know that it's just been a big subject for years, I would imagine now. But some people would say, well, why is it even relevant to what's been going on, wouldn't they, eh?
Yeah.
I mean, the reason it's relevant is because, once again, someone somewhere somehow is trying to use events to keep the public in fear, aren't they?
Yeah. Just getting everybody locked into the whole pantomime and the fear.
Yeah, exactly.
The fear porn that they peddle, and this is all part of the show, isn't it?
Yeah, and so when you start again, you add some of these things into the last couple of years, especially. And prior to that, because we're going to go and take a quick look at the Westminster Bridge shenanigans. And again, I'm not saying that people don't get injured. I'm not saying that all these things are staged, but there's a huge proportion of these big events that just look sketchy. And Sarah's she's had a bunch of pictures that I've sent to you, haven't you? And your overall opinion is...
Well, they're hilarious, aren't they? When you look at them, when you really look at all these close up, it's pretty obvious. But, in the past, I was sucked into all this. I was sucked into it all and didn't really, I wasn't paying proper attention. But when you start paying proper attention, you can see through it. And like you say, we're not saying that innocent people don't get hurt. They do. That's the tragedy of it all. But there are definitely people within this that are acting, and they're playing their role for this stage and to put the public into a lot of fear. And that's where it's at. That's the reality of this world, isn't it?
Yeah. But
most people are going to find it really hard to understand that that's how sinister it is really behind the scenes and what goes on. And it's usually to be part of certain agendas, and for them to then bring a solution in to whatever they have created, isn't it?
Yeah. And the funny thing is that I keep saying the funny thing is, because it's not funny, is it really? Not when you really look at it seriously. But again, I sort of refer back to my brother, and I asked him, I mean, he only finished, I think it's like 6 years ago, he retired from the police. And I said to him, do you remember ever in your career being in a situation as a training officer where you would hire in, or Sussex Police would hire in, actors or a company to create a scenario for training? And he went, no. I went, never. And he went, no, never even heard of it.
Yeah.
And his wife as well, 25 years, she said, no. People that were involved in these training exercises had to be verified. They had to be people that they knew. You know, they couldn't just bring a private company in and, you know, I mean, in case their procedures weren't followed. So, you know, I looked at that, and I'm looking at, as well, as I told you before we started, in the word coercion. So when we're looking at these actors, if they are making a statement that makes somebody think that they should do something, right? So just say, for argument's sake, you've got one of these people on the television trying to not force but push the narrative forward that it's, if I hadn't had the old 3-dart finish, thanks Chris and Dom, sorry for stealing your but their classics going to be around for history forever. If you've got some, all I can call them is just knob ends, aren't they? I mean, they're just idiots, aren't they?
Yeah.
If you've got somebody who's telling people, if I hadn't had this thing, I would have died.
Yeah.
That's coercion, right?
Absolutely.
You know, it might be a lower level coercion, but it's coercion. So
no, it's big time coercion.
yeah, but what I mean is, it's not like holding somebody up against the wall with a crossbow against their head and saying, if you don't take this, right? You know, but it's low level coercion. But anyway, the dictionary term for coercion is compelling a party. Coercion, compelling a party to act in an involuntary manner by the use of threats, including force. It involves a set of various types of forceful actions that violate the free will of an individual to induce a desired response. So if you've got some bod lying in a bed, right, not looking sick by any way, shape or form, and then he's getting a pat on the back from, like I said, I don't know whether it was Savid Javid or that other bod, Zadik, whatever his name is, right? And this guy's saying, you should go and get this, you should go and get this because I could have died. Well, this is a healthy 20-something-year-old bloke, right? So I was like, I was on it straight away. And then, of course, I found the regular bits and bobs about this guy. But we'll go into this in a minute. I'm just
setting the seed.
Setting the seeds, yeah, sowing the seeds.
No,
28.
scene.
Sowing the scene. We're setting the scene, not sowing the seeds. Right. So these various people, they're involved in all kinds of things, from obviously the hospitals and so on and so on and so on and so on. So right. So first thing we're going to talk about, and Sarah's got some pictures on her machine, which we're going to go through bit by bit, and you can pull them up, Sarah, and shout out the pictures that you've looked into. But we're going to look at, first thing we're looking at is this company, Crisis Cast. Now, this is a company that is run by actors. I mean, it just starts off there, doesn't it? Right? Funnily enough. So the main sort of guy in this company, his name's Brigadier Retired Ben Edwards, OBE. Oh, he's an OBE. What a surprise. Right? And on their first page are a bunch of fairly photoshopped, a couple of them particularly photoshopped pictures, especially this one of this guy, David Wayman. Right? So I looked at this and I thought, all right, so they create events to do with terrorism. They're basically a crisis media management company. And they set up scenarios supposedly for training. So I thought, well, what is a colonel, or he actually is, he's actually a colonel now, but a brigadier of the British Army, retired. what's he doing working for a company like this? And they photoshopped him up, haven't they? Because this guy's retired and looks like he's in his mid-60s, but in his crisis cast pictures, he looks like he's in his mid-40s, doesn't he? Right, so they've over photoshopped him up, but anyway, that's just it's just
like they do in general, anyway, don't they?
Like they do, yeah.
Everything's Photoshop nowadays.
Oh yeah. It's just. But anyway, so I thought, well, I wonder if this guy really exists. So I got on to where have we gone with him? Yeah, right, here are. So he commanded the Royal Scots Dragoon Guards, and so I thought, right. So I emailed the Royal Scots Dragoon Guards.
You'll be well on their radar.
And I just said, look, I hope you don't mind me messaging you, but we're looking at getting involved with this company, and we noticed that Ben Edwards OBE is like the number one first person listed on the site. Is he still in the army? Because of so many scams going on, we want to make sure that he wasn't being his profile wasn't being used for some, for this. Anyway, disappointingly enough, they got back to me and said, he's retired now, but he was made an honorary colonel of the regiment. And the picture that you've got there with him in his with his beret on and everything, he looks considerably older, doesn't he?
Yes.
Right, than that, right? So I thought, okay then. So I scanned down through a few more of these pictures, and I found Francesca Hunt. She's the lead producer. Mick Massey, he's an interesting guy, and this David Wayman, right? So I thought, I wonder where else I can find these people. So anyway, so I googled the names, and what a surprise to find out that Francesca Hunt is an actress. And all right, it's a kind of acting company, I suppose. Right. Yeah. So anyway, so there's
I found her now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got
so
her.
You got her, right? So I got the film feed on her.
Yeah.
And wrote it down here. She studied at Oxford. Oh, what a surprise! Right. And she studied PPE, which is not personal protection equipment.
PhD in it.
Yeah, she's got it's philosophy, politics, and economics, and of course that's what all your actresses do, isn't it? They all study philosophy, politics, and economics. She also went to the Moscow Arts Theatre and the Old Vic in Bristol. Yeah. So anyway, so I thought, let's have a look what she's been in then, and then as you know, I mentioned earlier on, what has she been in?
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So somebody who's been in this in a bunch of other things. And like I said, I'm not knocking her. I'm not knocking her for being in a film like that. But we know how shady that movie is, don't we? Yeah. Right. So she's running this company with this. Basically, there's a video of her talking on there and so on and whatever. And then I thought, right, so I Googled I ducked a few more names.
Not Googled.
No, not Googled. I web browsed a few more of their names, and I found another company called Mast. And I don't know whether we got a picture of Mast on here. Let's have a look. No, we haven't got a picture of Mast on here. But basically, I found another company called Mast.
Yeah.
And what a surprise to find the same people who work in this field of simulated horror shows, because that's what they are, simulated horror shows. What a surprise to find that two or maybe even three of the main protagonists from Crisis Cast also run this company called Mast. Being the best Who'd have thought it? Being the best organisation you can be. Learning development, and let's see who these people work with. Oh, the NHS. The NHS, what a surprise. The British government, and a few of the others, usual thing. Yeah. We'll get to the pictures, and then you can get a word in then.
I'm listening and learning, Jerry.
Right, okay, that's good. That's all right.
I like
But
it.
anyway, they work for some pretty big companies. So apparently, and it's mental health and well-being coming soon. Really,
Yeah.
these people work for the UK government, and they're seriously worried about
Yeah.
mental health and well-being. So anyway, so they're in this.
God.
They work for this company, Mast,
Yeah.
and so you've got Crisis Cast and you've got Mast, and then this guy here, I pulled this bloke up, and you know about this one because I've already read up this one for you.
You love him, don't you? Mick Massey.
So yeah, there's old Mick Massey there, right? So we pulled up Mick Massey. He's at business continuity. During a 33-year career in the London Fire Brigade, Mick experienced London IRA bombings, blah, 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 blah. It goes through these little what's it. So I thought, oh, let's see if we can find Mick Massey. So I would say this bloke looks like he's well in his late 50s, early 60s, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, I typed in fireman Mick Massey, and I find Bolton North Fire Brigade, Fire Department, and I find Mick Massey, who looks completely different to the Mick Massey on Crisis Cast. But they got identical names, and coincidentally, their backgrounds and their awards and the years in the department are literally identical. So the only Mick Massey that you can find is Mick Massey the fireman, but Mick Massey, the so-called fireman on Crisis Cast, you can't find anything on him in the fire department or anything. Nothing. Zero. It doesn't exist. Except when you type his name in and he comes up under another couple of things, one of them being Hanover Associates, right? So it's like, okay, so this fireman, he's involved in this, he's involved in that, and he works for this. He's one of the honchos at Hanover Associates. Yeah. And then you look into that and you find out that Hanover Associates does these massive financial loans to companies. You know, like the equipment financing processed 80 million. Various other massive loans. So this guy's obviously got his fingers in lots of pies, which again, like I said, I don't care. I've got no problem with you doing that. But ironically, most of these companies are based in Britain and in Dubai. Do you know? It's like, I mean, how far apart can you possibly be? You know, and again, it's only a very, very small thing in it. Right, it's only a small thing. It's only a small thing. To get this Crisis Cast thing out of the way, I think the corker's this guy, David Wayman, right? David Wayman. Yeah. Battlefield Training Operations. He's the photoshopped boy band guy.
David Bio or David PNG?
David PNG.
Right, got him. Oh, yeah.
Straight out of a boy band, right?
Yeah.
So it says... David gained 6 years' experience working for the British Army in 7 rifles, right? And he was in a zombie film. Right, he was in a zombie film. So I thought, well, yeah, he's not a bad-looking mush, I suppose. And then you go over to Mast, and whoop-de-doo, he's on that site as well. He's on there as well. So, but the funny thing is that their biographies on each thing are always slightly different. I would ask you this: if you are a battlefields, not battlefields, if you're a battlefield training operations guy, this guy was in the Territorial Army. He wasn't in the real army. I mean, it is the real army, but they're making it sound like this guy was like out in Afghanistan
on the front line,
running around with Rambo, right? But he was in the Weekend Warriors once a month. Yeah. So you know, and you just think to yourself, all right then, so that's no problem, you know. And then you pull up his IMDb, and there he is on that. He's been in a load of films. Good for him. He's just been in a film called Chinese Treachery, apparently, right, and various other things. But when you look at these things, you think to yourself, all right then. So as I told you, the old Crisis Cast got a little logo which kind of looks like the all-seeing eye, doesn't it? Again, it's got the little eye in the middle and all that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I typed in just before we made this call. I typed in to see if I could find anything else, and oh, look at this. Critical Cinema. Right. So we've got Crisis Cast and criticalcinema.co. And it's the same logo. It's basically a much more...
Same thing again.
It's the same version of the site. It's got masked on there. It's all to do with military and guns and police and disasters. And as you scroll down, and I'm going to put all these pictures in.
Yeah.
Real live scenarios. And you've got a ghosted out picture of some people protesting a police guy looks like he's just about to smash someone's head in. That's nice, isn't it? Right. So when you get down to the bottom, oh, what a surprise! There's Francesca again and Mick Massey. There he is again. Couple of different people, and then you get down to the people that are clients, right? So you've got clients where it's got the old clients, and you can read out for us. Yeah. So I will let you, young lady, read the clients out for us.
Okay, so we've got National Grid. We've got the Home Office.
Oh, what a surprise.
We've got the NHS.
Oh, what a surprise.
We've got the UK Parliament.
Yep.
Ministry of Defence. And Telesoft.
Yeah. So we've got three leading organisations, government organisations there. And we click over to the next one, which should be Clients 1.
Oh, yeah. Do you want me to do the readout?
Do the readout, mate.
We've got International Cyber Expo.
Cyber happens to be highlighted in blue.
Yeah. We've got Army.
Yeah.
Be the best. We've got CERN.
666 CERN.
We've got EDF Energy. We've got, I don't know how to pronounce this. Is it Deloitte?
I think it is, yeah. Something like Deloitte, one of them.
Deloitte. And then we've also got, is that G4S?
Yeah, G4S, but is that something to do with gas or something? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
And then the final one.
We've got Kent Police.
Oh.
Surprise, surprise. We've got London City Airport. Who'd have thought that?
Yeah.
We've got Health Sciences.
Trust the science.
Trust pseudoscience. We've got Repton School. And we've also got another NHS partnership on there.
Yeah.
And something called Register Larkin. Not heard of those.
Well, I bet if we looked into Repton School, founded UK 1557, and now looks like in Dubai in 2007. Yeah. So I bet if we looked into Repton School, it would have a reputation and a half.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be a public school, won't it?
Oh yeah. So anyway, we're going to get off this one in a minute. So once I got into critical cinema, they basically Kent Police, same old shit on there, right? Except on this one, they also work for the United Nations. I mean, you couldn't make it up, could you? Like, I know it's an old cliche now, everybody says but you couldn't make it up.
Always hidden in plain sight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Until you've got your eyes open.
Yeah, so, I mean, you know, the point that we're trying to make, guys and girls listening in here, is that I'm not criticising, or we're not criticising people for having businesses or for, you know, going from one career to another or whatever. But when you start looking at sketchy bios, you know, with changed terminology in them and changed dates, and then you sort of start looking and you just think to yourself, well, it doesn't look 100% legit, does it?
No.
And the other thing that I thought was funny, and I just pulled this up looking at our pictures that we've got here again with old Mr. Mick Massey, right? He's a top man. His ears are burning. He's a top man.
He's listening in.
He's a top man. This guy. He's probably going to have me bumped off, right? But he's a top man, right? So this is quite interesting. Hanover Associates providing financial solutions with a proven network of professionals. And the picture, if you can find that one,
Yeah.
you got it there. See the paper on the right hand side.
COVID-19 economic, what is it? Economic
Injury, disaster, loan application.
Oh.
So you're supposed to believe, and maybe he is. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that he is or he isn't. I'm just saying I find it very hard to believe that a fireman is a training specialist. Maybe he was a training specialist when he was in the fire department at pulling people out of burning buildings, but he's a training specialist. He's involved in all this financial stuff. He does not look like the guy called Mick Massey. You cannot find any pictures of him anywhere apart from that crisis character one. And he's also involved in disaster loan assistance for COVID-19 economic injury. Right? And I just thought, if you put those all together, you can see that
Doesn't add up.
It doesn't add up the way that we thought. But anyway, you'll have seen some of the pictures along with this. And as I said, we're not trying to criticise these people. We're just trying to work out how it is possible that these events and all these things that happen, they just seem to happen.
Exactly.
Everything just all happens, and everybody's running around and so on. And like I said, like my brother said, he's like, well, we never ever did any of that, not that he knew of, and he was there well long enough. So, but anyway, that I think, if you got anything that you think on the crisis cast.
Don't put me under pressure.
Well, it's not under pressure, is it? I mean, it's like, you look at Mick Massey, the fireman, with the kiddie and everything. He looks like a legit guy, right? And I bet if you called up the Bolton North, whatever, you would find out that he's the real guy. I'm sure that David Wayman is. See, it's so funny on the Mast site. David Wayman is a digital producer, but on the on the Crisis, he's battlefield training. Do you know what I mean? He's got strings to his bow.
Exactly.
He's out there kicking ass. You know, I mean, you know, and he's and also he's a voiceover artist as well. So he's he's an all rounder. I like people like
doing
this.
Everything.
I like people like this. You know, they're rocking it. They're rocking it.
Nothing he can't do.
There's nothing he can't do. But anyway, we'll have some of these little pictures running through this, and that have already run through it anyway, if you're listening in. So the next thing we're going to go over to, what are we on to here, Sarah? Tell everybody what we're on to here.
We've got bridge nonsense, and we've got a load of pictures here. What we're starting on, the first one?
Right. Everybody sort of knows about the Westminster Bridge tragedy. Again, you know, I'm not taking the old the Arthur Bliss here. I mean, I just read a little article here off of Wikipedia. So on March 2017, on the 22nd, I'm sure the 22nd is one of those numerological dates that keeps coming up. But anyway, March, beware the eyes of March. This guy, 52, a Briton, drove a car into pedestrians on the pavement along the south side of Westminster Bridge and Bridge Street, injuring more than 50 people, 4 of them fatally. He then crashed the car into a perimeter fence of the Palace grounds and ran off. He then fatally stabbed an unarmed police officer, and then he was shot by an armed police officer and died at the scene. So they treated this as an Islamic terrorist, Islamic-related terrorist, which of course it always is. That's what they always like to tag on that, don't they? And it says, however, that police found no link with any terrorist organisation and believe that he acted alone, right? And the ironic thing is that prior to the attack, the UK threat level for terrorism in the country was listed as severe. Well, I mean, what else would you list it as? I mean, it wasn't like it was a relaxed terrorist threat. No, it was. So it says prior to the attack, the UK threat level for terrorism in the UK. In the country was listed as severe, meaning attack was highly likely.
Wow, wonder why.
Well, as I said, you know, what do you think? I mean, seriously.
Well, don't say too much, to be honest. I'll be hunted down.
Don't worry about it, mate. I'll look after you. I'll find you. I'll protect. The unfortunate thing is we live like about 700 miles or 800 miles in the opposite directions of each other, so I can't just sort of nip over with me
I know, with
camo
your
on.
crossbow. I need to go on, don't I?
Shoot me some zombies.
Oh, exactly. Oh, there's loads of those about. Yeah, well, it's all a big coincidence, isn't it, that suddenly we were on high alert around that time.
Yeah. And this was the thing that really kind of did it for me, other than the pictures. And again, I've spoken to my brother, you know, any of you people out there listening who want to throw your penny's worth in and say that, you know, we're wrong or whatever, or maybe we are, but show me some proofs, some other proofs that things were a little bit different, and I'm willing to have a look. We're both willing to have a look, aren't we? But it says here that this this mush that was driving this car, he dropped out of school at 16, and by 18 he was described as a heavy cocaine user. So it's like, all right then. So anyway, this story goes on and on and on and on.
Yeah, draws you right in.
Draws you right in.
They draw in because they know, don't they, that we're emotional beings. So they always tap into the emotions. That's how they do it.
Yeah, we'll say a little bit about that with the with our Instagram Ukrainian young girl soldiers.
Yeah.
Well, you can
perfect hair
with the and the big false
eyelashes.
Right.
I know how hard it is to maintain them.
Yes, not in a battlefield situation, eh? Right.
Exactly.
So
exactly,
like we said in our last chat, you know, if you had 2 or 3 things, you would go, well, you know, but when you start adding them together, I mean, what do you think? If you took 3 or 4 of these things and you sort of say, well, it could be coincidence, wouldn't you?
Yeah. But then when you start piecing it all together, it just is too much of a coincidence, isn't it? And then when you start looking at the pictures and you can see that there's so much, everything, well, there's a lot of it that's staged, and you can see they're using dummies and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Then something has to switch on, doesn't it? And you have to start really thinking, well, why would they do that if that was genuine? Yeah. That's the thing.
It's that putting people in fear again, isn't it? That's what it is.
Yeah.
You know, disrupting normal people's lives. But the thing that was well, I'll ask you this question for you. I mean, I looked at this set up things, you know, these set up events. The first one that I saw, and I told you about this in a conversation before, was the one down in Nice on Bastille Day. Well, it's Bastille Day here tomorrow. Right. Well, let's see if something kicks off, eh?
Yeah.
Right. So that was the first.
You be careful. They'll have all eyes will be on you.
That's all right, mate. I'm not going out. I'll never go out. So, so what was? Can you remember any of these that you saw and thought to yourself, well, hang on a minute, that looks a bit hit and miss?
I think I was a bit more blinkered back then. I've not. I've only started looking into this kind of stuff. Well, obviously when I realised about all the lies that were being told, and then obviously 9/11 was an obvious one when you start looking at that, and then when you start realising that most of these things are staged, then and you look deeper. I'd never looked at the photos till you showed me all these, and obviously when you start looking at the photos, some of them hilarious, aren't they, with like babies that look perfect in like perfect baby grows and all the rest of it. But yeah, I think back then I don't think I was as tuned in, but I
think that it was the Nice thing that set me off. I knew that the 9/11 thing was not what they told you it was.
Yeah.
And as I told you, I was there. I wasn't in New York, but I was in the States, living in the States, and the first thing that I noticed was, well, first off, why is all this stuff so grainy? The original shots were all grainy. But anyway, the 9/11 thing is kind of old news now, but still part of the same process. But when I looked at the thing in Nice, and this is why I think that this is kind of prevalent to it as well, the Westminster Bridge. You know, you're supposed to believe that this guy ran over I don't know how many dozen people in a van. All the CCTV cameras just happened to be conveniently switched off that night, right? And remember, this is Bastille Day in France, one of the biggest events of the year. So
there's no way they'd have switched off the
no,
CCTV.
and this guy drives down the road and he runs all these people over, but there's no blood on the van. There's people running around laughing. There's mannequins everywhere. I mean, I told you there was a guy lying there and he's all shiny, you know, because he was made of plastic, and he's just lying there in his boxer shorts. No shoes or clothes on. It's like, what was he doing wandering around in it just like that in the evening? Most people dress up here when they go to these things. And then there was another bloke lying there and his head had been cut off, right? But there was no blood. I mean, I don't know, but I remember showing it to this video footage, and it was a big thing for about a week. And I showed it to a friend of ours who's was an ex Orange County sheriff, an American living here, and he looked at it and he went, you know, I think you got something here. And it wasn't me. I mean, I'd watched somebody else telling me about it. It wasn't like I discovered it, right? And the first thing that he said was no muzzle flash. There's no muzzle flash. Where's the muzzle flash? But that one really set me off. And then
then you started looking.
Yeah. And then if you go back to the Westminster Bridge, it tells you here. We talked about this earlier, didn't we? Well, we're talking about a fairly busy day in London. Now, what would you think regular speed driving around Westminster and that is going to be in a car?
Well, it's not going to be very fast, is it? It's going to be steady. It's
20 miles an hour, 30 miles an hour maximum.
Yeah.
Right.
You're in a built-up area. That's what you're supposed to be.
And there was people everywhere, right? There's people everywhere. There's cars everywhere. I mean, all right, the road to the bridge is fairly straight. I've got a map here. And it says each stage of the attack and his route through Westminster. Well, how did they know where his route was coming from? You know, I mean, he hit the bridge. They wouldn't have known where he was coming from. But anyway, so he goes round these bends and he hits this bridge, and he goes across this bridge. So they're telling you that this guy was driving this car at 122 kilometres an hour. That's 2 kilometres faster than the motorway speed here in France. Now, you know what it's like when people... How would you have picked... I don't even think a professional driver would have been able to drive a car that fast without crashing into a bollard or turning the car over or anything like that. 76 miles per hour, 122 kilometres an hour. So, and then you go back to 9/11 and they're trying to convince you that these aeroplanes hit the towers at over 500 miles an hour when it's an impossibility for that, and pilots and air staff will tell you that planes cannot fly that fast in low altitude because the air's too dense. So how is that? So it's the same story again, you know. But anyway,
add up again. Right from the get off. It's a lie.
Yeah, exactly. So so that's the basis of this thing. Now, I'm not mocking injuries or events and things like that. I'm just saying that these all look a bit hit and miss to me.
Yes.
Right. Yes. So, Sarah, let you take us through these pictures, and you give us your thoughts. So, our first picture here. Right, go for it.
Oh my gosh! So the first picture here, we've got. Well, what does it look like? Just a pair of legs, with. I'm trying to scan in. It looks like, well, they've got no shoes on, have they? They've never got any shoes on.
No.
So somehow the shoes have come flying off. How would a body just get wedged under a bus like that, for one? It doesn't look like there's any blood anywhere or any body parts scattered, does there? I mean, I'm trying to scan in on this. So, I mean, that looks just ridiculous in itself, doesn't it?
Well, the first thing that I noticed with this is one of the reasons that buses are very low to the ground is so that people can get in them easily. So to throw yourself under the bus like that is just like really, that's not going to be easy.
No.
Now, Now, I can't remember, like I said, some of the narrative and whatever, I don't know. But
Yeah.
if that bus had driven over that woman, there wouldn't be much left, would there?
No.
No.
She certainly wouldn't be laying neatly
No.
like that.
With the
It would
slightly,
not.
the old police guy here, obviously he's been on too many
Just
burgers,
walking
this guy.
by.
Yeah.
Just walking by and
Yeah.
like that's not happened.
No. Very, very odd. And again, once
Yeah.
again, cameraman there, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Capturing it.
so next picture.
Yeah.
What picture have you got? Have you got 23 Parliament there?
Everything again looks very neat and tidy, doesn't it? There's just people all stood about. You know, nobody's being cleared from that area. If that was an area where something terrible, obviously they're saying something terrible had happened, I'm sure there wouldn't just be people just stood around like just having a chat. Doesn't look like anything's going on, does it?
No.
And then there's somebody on the floor again, but does not look like there are any injuries or anything like that. Or it just looks, well, it looks set up, doesn't it?
Yeah, and again, I'm zooming in here. The guy's got shoe missing again.
Which one?
You can see it looks like it's poking out of his backside, right near the arm of the funny little munchkin girl there, or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Right, he's got a shoe missing again. Right.
Yeah.
So we're only going to let's just analysing these pictures. I said this wouldn't be very long, but we're an hour and 4 minutes in already.
That's all right. I don't mind as long as you don't mind.
No, not at all. No. Now, no disrespect, right, to anybody, any background or where anybody's from, or you know. So we're supposed to believe that this was like an attack, an Islamic attack. So let's clock this group of guys on the left. Where would you say the majority of these people originate from?
Exactly.
Right? I know, well, I think that this whole thing is, it's to blame a certain group of people, whether
of course
they
it is.
do or
It's
not.
always about division, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's about division all the time.
If you look at all the people wandering about and you look at these guys standing there and nobody's trying to help this, you've got one bloke here with his arms up, you've got a medic there. Now, I said to my brother, people are expected to help, but as soon as the professionals turn up, they just get them out of there because they could be, because they could be a hindrance or they could do something that makes things worse. And we'll see in a couple of the other pictures. We won't do all of them, but in a couple of the other pictures. So you've got these guys here with backpacks on and all this kind of stuff. Now,
I've got a close up now. I've got more of a close up on the third one.
Oh yeah, the one with the foot sticking out the back.
Yeah.
Right, but the police would have said everybody's got to get off the bridge, because what if these guys here on the left with their backpacks had backpacks full of high explosives and were just waiting for the authorities to come along and set them off and blow everybody up. And you notice that nobody on the other side of the road is paying any attention. The buses are going along. So
still going about their day, aren't they?
You tell me how you can drive along a road like that at any time at 122 kilometres an hour. I mean, there's just no way, right?
It's not happening.
No. And then if we go to the next picture, which is a numbered one, 87693, which has got the funny little girl there again, you can see his shoes missing, and the medical guy's there, and he's not like, hey, leave this to me, they're all just having a go sort of thing, poking their noses in. Now we'll scoot through a few of these pictures here. We're going to go to UK rocked by two separate attacks at Parliament and Westminster. Now that's the bus one with the London Eye. So again,
the shoes neatly placed on the side of the page.
Now isn't that the same thing we've just seen with Matthew Mahogany, as Dom and Chris call him, Matthew McConaughey, with his wife with the neat, clean baseball boots, and then you see Matthew's wife wearing them later on. So there's this woman, she's cradling this guy, right? Yeah. The shoes are taken off, and look at the other people.
I know, just stood around, aren't they? Look at him with the bum bag over his chest.
Yeah. And then the bus, the Whitehall 53 bus. There's a woman getting on the bus. Nobody's sort of, well, we better stop the bus and make sure everything's okay. No one's paying any attention.
No.
You know, well, anyway, it just boggles my mind. And I've got a couple
I
more
know.
pictures here, which I sent you earlier. There's the policeman walking along with the life boy rubber ring. So there's a policeman walking along with a rubber ring because some guy's thrown himself in the river, and then they got the one with the two firemen just peering over the edge, and I can see that there's some flowers and stuff up in the background there and there's just people wandering about. So maybe that was in commemoration or something, but the actual picture said that these were firemen that were after this guy ran along and threw himself off the bridge. And then we've got the other one that you pulled up, which is brilliant. It's just called London Bridge, and it's the one with the guys with his funny legs sticking out. Do you remember that one?
Oh, God. Nobody would be able to have their knees in that position, would they? Not even a contortionist.
No.
It's an obvious dump. Well, whether I can say that. It looks like an obvious dummy.
And again, the shoe. Why is there a shoe off again? Right, and look at the Oriental girl in the, if that's what you can call them, in the black thing. She's just wandering along. She's not like even, hey, is there anything I can do to help? You know, and a bit of the, look, he's got some.
She just wants to get her shopping done. She's not bothered about that going on.
You got some red paint or something in the side.
Yeah.
You know whatever way you look at it, it just looks sketchy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right, and then in this folder, we've also got a couple of pictures. These are the three guys, one from Star Now and so on.
Yeah, got it.
Right, so check this dude out. So here's another one of these people, and what do you think of that?
Man 38 spent 5 weeks in intensive care after putting off his vaccine. What is it? Western Hospital patient Matthew Roach has been left with permanent damage to his lungs. Of course he has. He's not took the vaccine, obviously. That's what's done it. Then he's got like a blue eye mask?
Yeah.
That he's got on.
So he can.
At the bottom.
So what you wear on a plane flight, yeah?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. And then he's an actor as well.
Yeah, Mandy.com. He's an actor. It's the same guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this was another guy who was again trying to coerce people. And I mean, he does not in the picture. And I watched the video with him, and he's got. You can't really see. You can see a bit. When you're in hospital, you are not allowed to have jewelry around your neck, right? It's true, yeah.
Yeah.
They take all that off, don't they, just in case?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, if he's been in intensive care, he's not going to have a massive gold chain around his neck. Is that what he's got on?
Yeah. Well, he had about 3 chains around his neck, right? And he does not look sick at all. And I remember him saying, I've lost so much weight, and he just looked like he does in his profile picture. I mean, if you lost so much weight, mate, you must have been one chunky dude to start with, because you just look like a normal guy of that, that whatever, right? So, and then we go to the next one. Convid younger adults still at risk of serious damage.
Yeah. Of course.
There he is, Paul Godfrey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Suffered lung.
Promotion model.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, here's another one. And then the third one, I love the third one, the dude with the pink teddy bear. I mean.
What's that about?
Just read the title, Sarah. I mean, come on, look.
Fundraisers vaccine plea after testing positive for COVID in Scotland. Oh yeah, because obviously they want to draw you in, don't they? Tug on the heartstrings. He's such a good guy. He's out there raising funds for charity. Yeah. And there he is. Look how we need to all, go, oh, look at him. He's even got a big pink teddy bear with him. What a good guy.
And there he is on Star Now. Right? Now the thing is, so he's an actor, extra, model, influencer. That's what he's doing. He's influencing you to go and get the old jibby jab, right? And it says, as people can read themselves, a paralysed father of 3 who is bed-bound with COVID in Scottish hospital was warned right? He does not look like a very sick person to me. Now, maybe he's recovered from it and everything, but that's like
recovered from what? Recovered from it.
yeah. Perhaps he's recovered from it, but he's got his earphones in, so he's jamming on some tunes and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But again, the thing is, again, we're not really trying to be nasty or mock these things, but these bods that work in. I mean, I was in a movie in Albuquerque when I was living out when I went to visit actually, and I was in a film with Tommy Lee Jones and Susan Sarandon called The Valley of Elah. Me and Susan, we were best mates. I tell you, we got on like a house on fire. I was an extra, right? I was an extra. Yeah. This mate of mine called me up and said, "Do you want to go and have an audition to get in this film?" So I said, "Yeah, all right then." I went, and it was one of the most boring experiences I'd ever been involved in. It was pretty, it was pretty grim. 12 hours to do 6 minutes of filming. But anyway, I digress. The point is, these people is that, they're hoping to be discovered. Someone's like, "Oh, he's a cool-looking bloke. We could put him in a movie." So they'll do anything, pretty much anything.
Yeah.
But my point is, if you are prepared to draw people in to do something that could seriously damage their health, then you are crossing the line.
Definitely.
You are crossing the line.
Yeah.
And
as we know, what he's encouraging people to do is actually injuring people, and even worse, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And there's another corker. I'll just put it up on the screen. But another guy who I think was either a policeman or an ambulance bloke, and he's being wheeled down the road on London Bridge again, or Westminster Bridge. And again, he's got one shoe on and one. And it's like, what is with this shoe thing?
I know. Just what is that about?
Well, they say it's the old. It's showing people that the Masons.
Oh, the Masons.
Yeah, like the trouser leg rolled
that's another.
up.
Oh yeah, so it's another. There's that many symbols that they do, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of
exactly.
But if
we go back to, like, on my webpage about the
have you just got one shoe on there?
One shoe on, one shoe off. Right, Henry G. H. Dyer, right?
With your eye covered up.
Well, this guy, I mean, I pulled him up on here because first off I thought, well, I know what kind of person you are. I've only got to look at the picture of him where he thinks he's James Bond, because they debunked it. It's like, oh no, he's not an actor or anything like that. But if you go to his Instagram page, which you can find very easily, he goes to Ascot. He's obviously got a rich mummy and daddy, and the caption on his Instagram page, which has changed now, was "Welcome to my world, coat of idiots." Right? And then he denied that he was an actor of any kind, and so on and so forth. But that's like I said, that's just bringing him up. But again, I've got a picture that I kept, which is on again on my webpage, on my blog page, and this is going back to the Star Now thing. And this came out. This is in Australia. Actors non-speaking role, no nurse doc patient simulated COVID vaccine shoot, Queensland, Australia.
God. Right,
and so they apply. This was April, the 8th of April, 2021. It's now closed, and they were looking for. Talk about stereotype. We require a male actor in a non-speaking role to play both doctor and patient, Indian preferred.
Laugh.
Just think of Russell laughing.
It took me a while to open that, and then when I did find that laugh.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Well, that's on our last video, on our last montage. But
I know.
But talk about stereotyping. We require an Indian male actor in a non-speaking role, right? Because they've got to be Indian. But maybe they are doing these things because obviously in dodgy situations. But it just shows you once again that they're hiring
Yeah.
actors to play
Yeah.
parts in simulations. The next little thing on the agenda, of course, and I was listening to I can't remember his name. I was listening to the last Sheep Farm thing. Big shout out to Sheep
Yeah.
Farm, to Dom and Chris once again, because we're stealing all their comedy terms and hashtag lines and everything. But you know, they're like leaders, and we're the army following them. So we've got to use some of their terminology. But
Exactly.
this guy was talking about bits and bobs, and they got onto the subject of all these shootings, you know, in America.
Yeah.
Whether people genuinely get hurt or whether they're staged or not, I'm sure there are people that get hurt, and I'm sure some of them are real. But the reason that they're doing that is because they want to try and get this. If you're an arms owner, you're a criminal.
Yeah.
To take the guns away from people.
To ban the guns. Yeah.
Yeah. I told you about this one. You remember the one I told you about the little girl who was killed, and she somehow had two dads. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
So it was two news networks. You've got this little girl who's been killed, and she's got her dad standing there, and he's like a Hispanic bloke. He's got sunglasses on, baseball hat, and he's being interviewed, and he's holding a picture of his daughter, you know, and she's like, "Oh, she was such a beautiful girl," and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, yeah, absolutely, mate, you know. But not a tear to be seen, not a tear shed, nothing. And then the other network, a woman interviewer, journalist, reporter, whatever, she's talking to another guy who's also the father of this kid in a different location. The same picture was shown, and I mean, this guy should be distraught, not a tear, and the woman, the woman that's interviewing him is just managing not to laugh. You know?
Really?
Yeah, I mean, absolute, utter disgrace. And
they're just so sick, aren't they? That's the thing. They're just so sick, these people.
You know, you're supposed to believe, like I said, that a guy drives 300 miles, walks into a school, all tooled up, makes his way down a corridor, starts blasting in a classroom. There was no one there to stop him. Well, as I told you, when I worked in the schools in 2002, it was like Fort Knox trying to get in there then.
Yeah.
So how does this guy do that? I mean, they have police. Yeah. They have police there. I worked with the police, as I told you. How is that possible?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying that these things don't happen, but it all looks, and it's
just it's the bits that don't add up, isn't it?
Yeah, it's right now as well.
Yeah, and it's just like getting us all to question things a bit more of what's being shown, isn't it? And what's, you know, looking, because I think once you do start seeing through certain things, it is easier to see through other things as well that they do. But they make it, some of it just doesn't add up, does it? Well, most of it doesn't add up, and then some of it's really obvious. But yeah, it's like you say, it's not laughing at the subject. The subject's horrendous, but it's just pointing out the bits that really don't make any sense.
Of course, a lot of people will say, well, how do they get away with it? How can they do that? I mean, I don't have the answer to that, but I know that, you know, like my brother said, you know, you can make anything happen. I mean, we watched a film, Army of the Dead, zombie film. It's quite amusing. It's quite a good film, actually, and it's set in Vegas. I mean, it looks as real can be, and the whole thing was shot on green screen sets. I don't think they even went to Vegas. It's not that difficult to do something.
No.
But, you know, where you've got all these police running around with all their gear on and all this kind of stuff and everything. And it's like, if you go to Star now, I would suggest anybody that just wants to go and have a look, go to Star now, and in the search just type police, and you will see dozens and dozens and dozens of people appear in police uniforms that were either in the police, have acted as the police, they've got all the gear, they show you pictures that look just like the stuff that we've been looking at, and it's amazing what people will do for money.
No, well, they will, won't they? And that's the thing, they do prey on people that, you know, that really haven't got any money, I think, as well, in some of the countries where they get the crisis actors from.
Yeah.
Probably that guy that you mentioned with the picture of the daughter. That's what they prey on, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. We're going to finalise our little event here. You might have to pull them up on your. I don't know whether you saved them, but we're just going to go on to the the little old yellow and blue, with the little dude, with the little guy outside the embassy, and the car and the baby, and and I think you can run through these ones for us because we've already done these. So I'll let you do the other ones after this. I'll just explain this one in case Sarah
Stop putting pressure on me.
No. But you can go through the pictures, the other pictures, because you know about the pictures, right? So we're going to look at this. Just a quick one here. Everybody knows about this dude Leon, who's the guy that's supposedly got kitted up and went out to the Ukraine and so on. But this guy here in the blue, he's one of the characters that turned up outside the Ukrainian embassy and said that he wanted to sign up with the Ukrainian army to go and fight the Russians, right? You know, he's that fierce that he's got his mask on just in case he catches something. So he's not worrying about having his head blown off, but as long as he and
as long as he don't get COVID,
as long as he doesn't get a cold on the way, you know, it's like I've come to fight, but I'm not feeling that well. I've got a bit of a cold, right? So we've got.
He needs to keep that on the battlefield.
Yeah, so he's got a blue top on, and of course the breaking news. It's all in yellow, and there you go again. And this chap, no disrespect to him.
We've got yellow flowers, haven't we, in the background?
Yes, all nicely laid out. All nicely laid out. They said to him, I hope you don't mind me asking, but I think we said this in our last one, but we didn't have the picture. But they said, Sky News just happened to be there and said, do you mind us asking how old you are? And he said, I'm 60. He said, I've just managed to get in. Right, and all these people, all these lobotomized bods on the news feed were, yay, what a brave bloke and everything. It's like, there's no way this guy's going out to fight.
Is that what they were?
Yeah, gonna go and fight the Russians. I mean, come on, my brother's a bit of a war hero, and he said there's no way he'd be going, right? So, you know, it's like, you've got to be kidding. But anyway, that's the start off of our little runner. So Sarah's gonna have a little chortle here and run through these pictures. Now, just to make it quite clear to anybody that wants to give us a hard time, you know, we know that something very, very serious went on out there, and we said on our last chat about the Russo-Ukrainian war, you know, it's one of the most corrupt countries in the world. I personally haven't got any time for the Hobbit Z president, you know, the high-heeled wearing dancing president. But, you know, we're not mocking what's happened. And I think what they've been doing is actually a disgrace. It's disrespectful beyond belief to what Ukrainian people have had to go through prior to, right? So on that note, we're going to flick through to the first picture, and Sarah's going to explain exactly what is going on. This is just going to be like 4 or 5 pictures. I mean, I started doing a video about all this, and it's taken me months, and I haven't finished it because I think it's probably better to just laugh about it with you, really, to be honest. Yeah. So, what do we have to say about this picture then?
So this is an absolutely mangled car, isn't it? Yeah. Completely and utterly mangled. And then I can't see quite. Is that a man or a woman in there? I can't quite see, but. Looks in perfect condition, you know, not a spot of blood, not a spot of anything, just perfect, just peering out the top. just literally has been plonked in there and peering out the top, and everyone else is just kind of just looking about, aren't they? Yeah. Is there anyone with a face mask on? No. Usually they'd have someone with a face mask on.
Normally one, isn't there? But when you zoom in on this picture, I think it's a woman. There's a guy. You see the guy in the yellow bobble hat at the back there. He's trying to chop her out with a wood axe. Right? I mean, come on. I mean, first off, you're in a city. Who wanders around with a wood axe anyway in a city?
Just climb out the top.
Just climb out the top, right? So she's not got a mark on her.
No.
And the girl with the
not a speck of anything.
No, the girl with the yellow backpack. There's, you know, she's just like, oh, it's, you know. Perhaps they all said, "Get out of the way, get out of the way. We got the." Anyway, as I told you, if you remember it, and I've got the picture somewhere, they showed the big sort of half-track armoured vehicle that was supposed to run over this, but not with that woman in it, because she'd be gone.
Yeah, she wouldn't be there just peering out the top, would she? Just with quite a I don't know how to describe. It's an odd expression she's got on her face there, isn't it? It's just like she doesn't know what's going on either, does she? I don't know where they dragged her in from.
I expect one of those people, she's probably the mum of one of those people, and they've like said to her, look, come on, mum, come down here, I can get €50 out of this. But you know, people have been killed like this, but I mean, it just, come on, right? So anyway, we thought that one was quite amusing. And then we'll go on to the next. This is one of your faves, isn't it, mate? The baby. Yeah. So the caption of this, I'll read the caption of this. This was, I found this on, and it says something like, touching moment as baby is rescued from the rubble. Are you laughing?
Yeah. It's the first, it's when men wear those silly face masks, the cloth ones. I like it when I see men in the paisley ones.
Yeah.
The polka dot's always one of my favourite. When you see, I mean, yeah. So first it's that, isn't it? There's always a ridiculous face mask on. And then obviously that's not a baby. It's one of those weird dolls that's on the back of magazines that people, well, you know, if people want to do that, if they want to buy one of those weird dolls and pretend it's a baby, who am I to judge? But it's obviously going to be one of those. I mean, who finds a baby in rubble in that perfect baby grow?
Yeah.
It's just, what?
And
then the bus upside down in the background as well.
Yeah.
I mean, and then the dog's backside. I mean, it's just all
when you
random.
zoom in, you zoomed in, didn't you? When you zoom in, you can zoom in really close. I defy anybody to find a speck of dirt on not just her or it or the baby, her, him, whatever, but on the soldier as well. He hasn't got a dirt. I mean, look at the shit all lying around there, right? You know, I mean, the baby would be screaming its head off. You know, just having a nap.
Just perfectly, yeah.
But as I said to you, that flyover, you'll see that flyover in multiple pictures, and it was blown up. And you'll see if you zoom right in, there's a guy walking across the back there. He's got his duffel bag over his shoulder. He's obviously been out to get some swag, you know, and he ain't paying no attention. And then they conveniently paint the rail of the bridge there in yellow and blue, just in case you didn't get the message of where they actually were supposed to be.
And what's the yellow thing around his arm?
Well, this was another funny thing because in military operations, from my research, and I'm nothing to do with the army, although my brother was, apparently they put the coloured tape round their uniforms so that they can distinguish each other from the enemy. Right. Now, that makes zero sense at all, doesn't it? Yeah, because...
Yeah, exactly, because then you're open to be...
Yeah, and you... I think that was what I read anyway, but most military uniforms look the same, so it's pretty difficult to know you're exactly shooting at, right? But the last thing you would want to do is be identified by the sniper by wearing And if you wanted to say say that guy wanted to infiltrate the Russians, all he's got to do is
in that mask.
All he's got to do is change his colour bit of tape, and he can walk straight in. Yeah. Can't he? You know. So anyway, we thought that one was interesting, didn't we? So now we're going to go on to and again, before we go down this little route here, I'm not criticising pretty girls in the military. I'm not criticising. My brother trained, as I said, people in the army and in the police and so on, and we know a lot of them go through some seriously bad stuff. But when a newspaper puts out pictures and says that these are hardcore army girls who've again been taken out, been blown up and stuff like that, then I'm afraid I have to question again. So here's our first couple
Yeah.
of cutie pies.
Exactly. Well, where do you begin? Like you say, we don't know for sure. We don't know for this for sure. But they've got perfect makeup. I mean, where would you do that makeup?
Yeah.
They've got perfect lashes on there. I know that they're fake. They've been glued on. Now they don't last very long, as I'm well aware. I have those done myself by a friend, and if I don't have them every 2 weeks, then they're a disaster. But within about 2 days, for me, they're a disaster. So I don't know what they'd look like in a war zone within like an hour. I mean, they'd be all over the shop.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. What do you say? I mean, look at them. They just look like models, don't they? They don't look like soldiers. They look like,
This is the Instagram army.
yeah,
Yeah.
they look like Michelle Keegan on Our Girl.
Yeah, now I didn't know about her till, and then when I sent you these pictures, you went, "Oh, that's her."
Yeah, they look like her basically on Our Girl. Not a hair out of place. They've got the nail varnish on, haven't they, and everything, and they look, they look beautiful. But I'm pretty sure that they're not hardcore frontline army chicks. But we could be
We
wrong.
could be wrong. Now, so we got one like that. We think, all right then. Now,
Yeah,
I pulled up a picture of girls in the
yeah,
army, and there's some nice looking girls in the army, right? But none of them were wearing makeup or anything like that. This is all
yeah,
just done again to pull in the people. Oh my God, these poor
yeah,
beautiful girls, you know. So
yeah.
so go on to slide number 2. This is a corker.
Honestly, the third slide. I mean, the third girl there. That's heavily edited, isn't it?
I
I
think
mean,
I think
heavily
the
photoshopped.
first one and the third one are the same girl. I think they're the same girl.
All right. I don't
I
know.
think the middle one's different, but the one in the middle,
Yeah.
I mean, look, she's literally just like it's all been thrown together, and
Yeah.
like my brother said, look how clean and tidy everything is. I mean,
Oh, yeah. They look
you
perfect.
know, I just go out in the garden and cut the grass, and I come back and look like I've been in the Somme. You know, come
I
on,
know. I know. Again, it's the perfect makeup, isn't it?
yeah.
The perfect poses as well. I mean, would you really be posing like that if you were in the middle of a war zone? I'm not convinced.
Well,
I'm not
they
convinced.
say that some of these pictures were taken because these girls entered competitions, right? They entered
Right.
competitions, you know, like the army pin-up girl or something like that, which you know
Right.
is fair enough. I get that, but the
Yeah.
point being is that the way the press put it forward is that these were like, you know, they're killed in action, all this kind of stuff, and so on, and
Yeah.
you know maybe they were or something, or maybe they weren't. I don't know. You know, it's difficult
No.
to. Yeah, but the point being again is that it's all staged, and then we'll go to the next one, which I think the middle picture is obviously the best one of these three.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So what was the story behind again, are these
These all
girls being put?
these all came under the headings of girls that were fighting for their country and everything, and maybe they, you know,
Yeah.
they probably are, but you know, you got the young Angelina Jolie before she turned into a
Yeah.
giant walking cod. You've got her on the left. She's
Yeah.
The report on her was she's some hero, and that maybe should be
Yeah.
maybe she was. Then you got the pouting one in the middle, the duck face in the middle, and then you
Yeah.
got the other sort of more homely girl. They're all looking, you know, nice and everything,
Yeah.
and but they make it out that, and like I said, maybe that is the case, maybe that is what happened to them, but you add that together with all the other pictures and you just got to say to yourself, oh really?
Exactly. Exactly.
So we've got about I think 3 or 4 more pictures in here, which we've got to use. We'll jump a little bit
Oh
here
yeah.
because this is great.
Yeah.
This is one of the greatest pictures I've ever seen in my life.
Is that the two? The missile with the people with the face masks. Everything again is perfectly neat all over. It just looks like a monument, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Doesn't even, there's no rubble, there's no And the people just walking by like that's normal. A rocket's just landed next to them. But that's okay. They've still got their shopping to do.
Yeah.
So they're not going to bother with that. They're just going to carry on walking, and they're safe because they've got the face mask on.
Yeah, and as you pointed out, when someone's come along and they've chipped out the little tiles, and then they've stuck that in the ground, which of course, if you hit the ground with even a sledgehammer, it breaks everything up. But
Mashes everything.
The cameraman's there again, and you wouldn't walk past that, would you? You'd say, I'm not walking past that. What if it goes off? What if it was a dud, but suddenly it starts ticking just as we walk past? It might have been there for years, but you still wouldn't go, let's go and have a tap of that, Sarah. If you got your stick, we'll give it a knock to see what happens. You wouldn't do it, would you? Just say, no, I'm not going. No. And there's dozens of pictures of these rockets. They're quite funny. And then we're going on to this more serious picture here, if you remember this one, this poor kiddie.
Yeah.
So this guy, as I said, how old do you reckon he is? 20? Can't be much older than 20. I mean, apart from his shaving his head, he's not even shaving, is he? Right?
No.
So the news put out that this is the first Russian soldier being tried for war crimes, and he was sat in a glass box, right? I mean, again, is he? I don't know. So, as I said, first off, have they really got time at the moment to be trying people for war crimes? I don't think so. They'd just lock them up for a while, wouldn't they? But anyway, so it's supposed to believe that this guy's a sergeant. And as I think I said to you, that, I sort of did a bit of investigation on joining the army.
How many years? Yeah.
How many years it takes to become a sergeant. It's not an overnight process. So that's obviously somewhat of a setup. But that's one I just sent you. Now we've got the greatest Scud rocket picture of all time, which is the kitchen one, right?
Oh my goodness, it's just hilarious, isn't it? It's that perfect hole in the ceiling. There's not really any mess anywhere else, and it's just landed so conveniently, hasn't it? The units are all still, the door's still on, the sink's still there, it's all perfect still. But that rocket's just landed there like that great big thing. Like it wouldn't demolish the whole house, the whole roof, everything would be gone, wouldn't it?
Well, it'd pull all the ceiling down, and half the roof would come down with it as well. And you can see, you can see. But the point being with these pictures is that the press, the crooked press, puts these out as real dramatic pictures. Stuff. Yeah. And I mean, the actual hole in the ceiling is smaller than the tail end of the rocket anyway. So and then I think this is our last one. This is our last one. Oh no, there's let's do the we'll talk about this woman, and then we'll look at the window one. But if you remember this lady here,
she's a mother of 12, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's out there on the front line. She's got time to do to be out there fighting for the country as well.
She was a doctor.
12 kids.
She was a doctor.
And she's a doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the report on this one again, and I'm not saying, I'm just saying if you add it to the others, this lady here, she apparently joined up in 2014, a mother of 12, 6 kids of her own, and 6 adopted, and she got unfortunately taken out. And then again, the uniformed lady, the same girl next to us, got all her uniform on and all that, and a gun, and you can see it's all clean. She's got no scratches on her elbow pads, but anyway, so she got killed, and they haven't been able to recover the body. So if that's the case, it's sad. But again, you add it to the others, again, it's just sensationalism, and anybody that has been hurt, it's just disrespectful to people who've really had to go through it, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. It's a disrespect that the fact that they, that what they are doing, and these people that are acting and part of this, the disrespect that they're displaying to all the people that have genuinely lost their lives or been injured out there in these horrendous wars that we know are caused by all these evil entities that are all going on behind the scenes.
Well, it's just constant, isn't it? It's just
Yeah.
life repeating itself. And just
Yeah.
on a slightly amusing note, the last picture is our
Yeah.
lady in the pink sweater.
With the COVID gloves on. Because you need them. You never know when you know.
But this is an area that's been used multiple times. I mean, I've got about 60, 70 pictures, all from mainstream press, all shot in this area.
Yeah.
You can see this happened a few years back. This isn't
Yeah.
what happened. But I was, as I said to you, it's like, what do you think she's doing then, Sarah?
I've no idea. What is she doing with the COVID gloves? Just looking out the window.
Well, she's
looking sorrowful.
she's measuring up. She's got a tape measure.
Is that a tape measure?
Yeah, it's a tape measure. Yeah.
Well, she's probably measuring up for some new blinds.
Yeah. She got a double glazing order going, and she's just making sure that she's got the right measurements.
Yeah. She's going to nip down Dunelm after and get some new curtains for that window.
But again, there's a photographer there. A stage picture. You don't need to stage pictures to really show people and to concern people. But as we said, the clown show, life's a stage, all that kind of stuff. They're all the old cliches are out, aren't they?
Yeah.
But to me, like I said, is if you look at this and take it seriously, then I'm afraid you need to have a look at yourself in the mirror and just wet your hands and smack your face around a little bit. Try and wake yourself up a little bit, because you're being conned. I would say 80% of the stuff we've seen is a con, and maybe 20% of it is real. You know, like we said in the last thing, TikTok dancing nurses with all their jewellery on, and like the video that John did, where all those bods in spacesuits suddenly start doing silly dances and things like that.
I know.
You know, I mean, it's.
I know.
It really is.
They just put on a show for us, don't they?
Yeah, it is.
But the sad thing is, most buy it, don't they? They buy into it. They just can't see it.
No, exactly. If you start looking into really just have a good look at some of these events, especially as they seem to be escalating. We had very, very little last year, and now it's just like full on, isn't it? And you were saying about that, weren't you? About being the end game. Thought that was it. This is their end game.
Yeah, well, they're pulling it all out, aren't they? They're playing all their hand. They're getting desperate, and it's just like, but the more desperate they get, the sillier it gets, and you hope that people then can start seeing through the circus a bit more, because it just gets more and more ridiculous, doesn't it? As it goes on, they don't know what to say next, really, to try and put people in fear, and it's just relentless. But you've definitely got to. Obviously, the subject we covered today was, there's a lot of serious parts to it, but you've got to laugh at the ridiculous bits that they add, and not take a lot of the show too seriously, because I think by laughing at the idiots that are running this show, it's a good thing, isn't it? It's good energy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And not getting sucked into any of the fear energy, because that's what they want. They want everybody sucked into the fear and the doom and the gloom, don't they? Because they understand that if we get sucked into that, well, that can become the reality.
Well, it's like you were saying earlier on, for those listening here, if anyone. All right, Mum, how's it going? That me and Sarah met up through this channel on Telegram, which is probably owned by the Russians or someone.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, it was two Russian brothers.
Version of what's his face? It's Facebook and all that. It's a
Cyberberg.
Yeah, it's
Zutaborg or whatever his name is. Yeah, but
Russian version of him.
Yeah. Well, there's a channel that was originally called Truth, Health and Solutions, and he's now changed it to Awaken, and he's got a YouTube channel, which I'll leave in the description. And the guy's a really nice bloke. Like, he's full on. He's got, just like Chris and Dom and all the others, he's got some really good information. A lot of it's repeats of what we've already seen, because we have to keep repeating these things, don't we? Otherwise,
Yeah.
you know.
So people, because we're flooded with so much information, then people can then go back, can't they, and remind themselves, or they might have not had chance to look at something before, but then they can look at it again.
Yeah, and I hope that because of my background, that some musical people, not your Soldier Soul gang, but some musical people might look at my site and, and go, oh, it was Gary saying this might be interesting or something like that. So we're just doing the rounds, really. But John's come up with some really good stuff, and we met through that channel. There's some really neat stuff on there. But as you were saying earlier on, he's starting to get the trolls, as they call them. And instantly, these people or bots or whatever, they're so negative, aren't they?
Yeah, they're so negative, and they just try and lead everybody down different routes, and they're just there for the confusion as well, aren't they? Try and throw people off the scent. But I mean, it has been a source of entertainment watching some of the bullshit that they put on there. I'm not going to lie, I've had a bit of a giggle this morning when I read it all back through. Somebody is putting absolute nonsense on about. I don't even know. I don't even understand what they're going on about, to be honest. And I don't really want to, but it's just gets silly, doesn't it? I mean, we could do a whole one on that.
Well, it's like you said. It's like you put something on there, and it's your opinion, and you go, I found out this, I researched that, I went to this website, and I've made a video about it, and then you get somebody come along who then disses that and says, you don't know what you're talking about, and then you say, well, can you show me some examples to prove me wrong? And they go, no.
I know.
I know. Well, go and make a channel yourself, mate, and then we'll come and have a look, and we'll have an intelligent chat about it. But like you said, we're having a laugh about serious stuff, and pretty much everybody is.
Yeah.
And I don't think it will be our downfall, but this negativity stuff from these other people is, and they're always people with stupid pseudonyms and some silly little picture, like my walking zombies. But at least you can find out who I am. And that I'm a real person. But that negativity thing, like you said, is so prevalent now, even more so than ever. We've got to keep the old good energy up, haven't we?
You've got to keep the vibe up. Got to keep laughing in the face of all these morons that are running this circus, haven't we? Because that's what they don't want. They don't want us to be laughing at them and having a bit of fun. They want us to be dragged down into the doom and gloom and scared. And even in the whole truth community, that's what they want. They want people to believe that they're going to put all their camps up and throw us all in the camps and all of that. To be honest, I got sucked into that at one point. I thought, fucking hell, I'm going to be in that camp. I'll be first in. I'm chucked in there. But that's what they want you to believe, all that. They don't want you to believe that actually we can change it, that's not going to happen, and we can create something better.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what it's about, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's keeping the vibe and the energy up and having a bit of a laugh. The subjects obviously that we've discussed are serious, and there are some serious things happening, but there's also the comedy in them with the setups that they've done, with the crisis actors and everything else. And we've got to keep having fun, haven't we?
Well, as you said, if a couple of people have said, you've seen these things about whether you think the world's a spinning ball or we live on a level plane, whether you think the man went to the moon. You hear people, they go, well, does it really matter? Does it really matter? And it's like, well, yeah, it does actually. Yeah. And does the crisis actor thing, does the stage, does it really matter? Well, in the long term of things, if these organisations are able to create these things and lie to you, then they're prepared to lie to you about something that they're injecting into your body, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's relevant. Those pieces of the puzzle are all relevant.
And when you start putting all those pieces of the puzzle together, and you kind of understand what this realm is and the germ theory thing and everything like that, the germ theory hoax, it's empowering, isn't it? Because they can't hold you in any fear or anything about anything anymore. They've got no hold over you.
No, it was brilliant. I just pulled up an older video of John's to do with the moon, with the
Yeah.
where they zoomed right in and you can see the clouds
Yeah.
going behind the moon and everything. And
Yeah.
directly after his video, because there's always some YouTube thing comes up afterwards, doesn't it? And it came up and it said
Yeah.
at the Royal Institute or something there was a lecture, and it's this guy
Yeah.
talking about what is beyond the black hole. Right, and directly after John's video about the moon, right, and
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been. I'd have to have stood up and said, "Excuse me, sir, very interesting subject. So how do you know? Have you
Yeah.
been beyond the black hole?" Well, no, I haven't been
Yeah.
on that. Right, well, shut up then.
Yeah.
You know, I
Exactly.
mean, these statements that these people come out with. If
Yeah.
somebody can make a film, a really crystal clear film, showing the moon with clouds behind it. Now I don't know how that's possible. I don't know whether they've mucked about with that, but there's a film of it. And then you got some
Yeah.
clown at the National Royal Institute or whatever it is, knowing exactly who funds those organisations, giving a lecture,
Yeah.
talking to people about how he knows what is beyond the black hole. But it's like,
Yeah.
how would you know, sir, what is beyond the black hole? I mean, if you said to me,
Yeah.
do you know you can get eggs down at Sainsbury's? And I would say, how do you know that? You say, well, look, I've just bought some eggs from Sainsbury's, wouldn't you? Right? But to make this statement that somebody knows what's beyond a black hole when they can't even prove that any of that exists.
Yeah. They're just reading from their programmed scripts, aren't they?
Yeah, it's just another
And
lie. But I think that people
yeah.
like those lecturers, they really truly believe that there is
Yeah.
something beyond the black hole. You know, even though they've never been and have no chance ever of
No.
going. You know, because even
Yeah.
if it was the case, do you think he's going to get a place on a space shuttle to go whizzing out there? Of course he's not. He's firmly fixed to the ground, isn't he?
Yeah.
So, you know, you again, people, you've only got to look at a few things and add a few things up, haven't you? And then
Yeah.
if that little bell rings at the back of your head, ding-a-ling-a-ling, then you can say to yourself, that doesn't quite add up.
Yeah.
I'll instead of watching
Look
the
into this.
yeah, I'll go and look into it. Might be
Oh
interesting.
dear. And then you end up down all the rabbit holes.
End up like us, like all like
Rocking.
rocking backwards and forwards, like a bit of drool dripping out of my nose or out of my mouth, whatever, you know. But anyway, I think we've look, and I said we'll only do about 30 minutes, and here we
I
are.
knew we wouldn't.
Rocked another
knew it.
2 hours 8 minutes. This is long. Well, by the time I edit it all down, it'll probably be about 40 minutes, so it won't be so bad.
Gosh, bless you. You've got a right job. I knew it wouldn't be half an hour. Half an hour on one picture.
Well, we did good because we didn't we haven't done so many ums. But I was listening. Do you know what?
No.
I was listening to this woman talking on Chris and Dom's, and it was brilliant. I can't remember the guy she was on there with, and she's an author and all that, and she did a lot of ums, and I thought, I don't really need to edit them all
cares?
out. Just who cares? You know, we're not professional speakers, are we? So it
Well,
doesn't
you
matter.
are. I'm not.
No,
not.
I'm a professional Gary King non-stop talker. That's what I am.
I don't know what I am.
He makes no sense.
You're brilliant at it. I don't know what I am, but I have to say, with the subject that we covered today, I did start thinking, oh gosh, I better not say too much here. I
looked at
but we've done it well. I think
the subject that we looked at here. I've done a bit of research into. So Sarah was just came to help me out a little bit instead of me just sitting here talking to myself. I'd rather talk to me little laughing buddy over there, and makes me laugh and that.
Well,
so it makes it a bit more amusing. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. So anyway, for those that listened in, I want to thank Sarah again for hanging in with me and having a laugh and her input and so on.
Thanks for having me.
And we're going to be looking at a couple of other things fairly soon. We're going to try and do a sort of like once weekly, once 10 days or something, just little banter.
Yeah.
And Sarah came up with an idea of she's going to look into psyops of the week to see what absolute garbage they're throwing out, and we might have to follow it up afterwards. But we'll
Yeah.
date it. And I think that was a great idea. So,
It wasn't mine though. It was stolen from somebody on the Truth Health chat.
oh,
I
was
can't
it?
remember his name. But yeah, so whoever it was on there, thank you.
Yeah,
And we can always put something on there, see if people have got ideas and get people involved, can't we?
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It is all about
Yeah.
people coming together and
Mm.
the right kind of people that enjoy talking to each other and so on. So, I'll thank Sarah for sitting in with me, and
Thank
we'll
you.
get back to you soon. Bye.
All right, bye.